Hello again, you join me back at this property you may recognize from a previous video. I'm back here to do the remedials. Now the remedials involve replacing all the accessories, there's a new kitchen going in, there's loads of bits and bobs. I'm just going to go through I'm doing a consumer unit and some other little bits. I'm basically trying to show some of my work because I don't actually show it on this channel so far. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm not going to go into details or how to. It's more trying to show off to potential clients. So hello potential clients, what I do. And yeah, so let's get into it. So as usual in the UK, we have tiny cupboards that we cram all of our mains into. Under here, this is the consumer unit I've got to change today. So this is an old Crabtree unit. This is 16th edition board with no RTD protection on some of the circuits, but there's a few other issues with it, so we're going to get that changed out today. We're also going to neaten up all of these cables coming down through here, try and make it look a bit neater and generally tidy up. We've got some cables that are redundant that we're going to be removing, some circuits that are redundant that we're going to be removing. We're just going to generally make this a much safer installation, but the issue is there's a massive gas main in the way, and I'm not exactly the smallest gentleman. Some would describe me as husky. But yeah, this is what we're going to get changed out. Also got a load of remedials to do throughout the property. So you can see there's bits and bobs that are all damaged. Accessories are all going to be upgraded. This is a rental property. So we're going to do stuff to a decent finish, but you've got to remember it's like return on investment, isn't it? And a lot of rental properties get damaged. And yeah, so you don't want to go too wild in the aisles regarding accessory finishes and stuff like that, because cameras all over the gaff. If you go for the sort of really polished, nice stuff, odds are it's going to get wrecked depending on your tenant and stuff like that. So it's just being realistic as a landlord. So we go for a good finish, but you've got to remember this is a rental property. So if people start coming at me saying that the accessories look this, that and the other, it's a rental. Anyway, I'm gonna start getting this board ripped out. Okay, that's all ripped out now. As you can see, they all come from under the staircase. So it's been rewired at some point and they fished out the back of the plaster. You can see this as well. This is the old trunking. So the old VIR cables would have come down that bit of wooden batten there into the old fuse box. So I'm going to run a bit of trunking in this corner here and bring all of them into it and down to a suitable height. And then the consumer unit will sit there nicely. Also got to move this bonding cable. You see it's after this T. There's not much space for me to go on, but I'm going to try and get there on that. If I show you our fuse box we're going to go for today. So that was my impact driver. So I've been using fuse box for the last few years, and the last one I installed was absolute crap. The build quality on it, everything. I've had a few of their RCBOs fail as well. It's just like they've flooded the market, got everyone to start buying them, and then started reducing their quality. So I thought I'm going to give an old school brand a go today. So going back to my roots, this is a brand that basically dominated. I mean, I'd say at one point 90% of the country had a Wilex fuse box in there. So I'm going to give this a go today. I think it's about time they made a comeback. The SBD module doesn't require an MCB either. Obviously it takes up a way, but it's not the end of the world. Also, people that leave this sticker on, you can see what it says. Remove after installation. Shows people don't read. But yeah, I thought I'd give that a go today because they did get a bad, when was it, back in 2011? I don't know the exact date, but they had a faulty batch of MCBs and they were blowing up spectacularly under fault conditions. So they kind of fell from grace. They don't do any modern marketing either. You notice all the other brands, they flood in the market. If anyone's on Instagram, you'll know that they run these smear campaigns like Luden. It's just bloody everywhere and does my head in. And I've installed Proteus, Luden, didn't like their fuse boxes. Hager, good quality, but their AFDDs are a bit spicy. So I'm gonna give this a go today, and I'll let you know how I get on with it. One thing I will say about them is that, so I have installed quite a few of them before, the knockouts knock out from the inside.
So if I turn that sideways, and that camera work is terrible, but can you see? So you don't knock them in.
It's so awkward because you've got to try and get a screwdriver or something in and whack it, and they do not knock out that well, which is good, I suppose, because they don't want them just falling out. You can see little spot welds on them. But at the same time, when you do just want a knockout out of it, also the way they land as well. So you've got all these 20s. I just think all fuse boxes should be blank and just let me drill my own holes, because I want to bring the tails in for this, which is going to be about here, where there's a 20 in the way already. You see what I mean? Just been a moany git, but there's one in the side there, little 32. I could potentially bring the tails in there, and then there's one in the top as well. But if you want to come bottom entry, it's not the best. How handy was it for me having this display chair? Oh dear. Anyway, let's crack on. And that's it all put to bed. I must say, I think that this has been a dream to install compared to some of the other ones I've been doing recently. The quality just seems to have gone right downhill. Just need to tighten up those neutrals a bit. They could do with being a bit longer, in all honesty, because these ones at the end, they're just a bit, I like to bring them all the way to the end and up and round and dress them in that way. But, oh, alas, everything is in and on. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going around, just removing every point, getting rid of all the rubbish, laying all the points out, ready for tomorrow, for everything to be changed over. So let's turn that off. It's not been too bad a day. It was rewired, I would say, the lighting circuit, new colours. So it's got to be at least 2004, 2006, because that's when the colour change came in. So, God, it's 20 years ago now. Oh, makes me feel old. I started when the colour change was just coming over. So I suppose I am old. So, but the sockets are in red and black. However, it's modern red and black. So I wonder if it was at the cusp of the changeover and they had some of the old 2.5 knocking around, but the newer brown and blue. I think that might be the case. So I'd say this installation is about 20 years old. After this revamp, it's going to be good for another 20, 30 years. In all honesty, PVC cable, it just doesn't degrade in the same way that the older cables used to. If you get like the old tin and copper and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say it's going well, it's going well. I'm gonna get the rest of this sorted out, and then I need to get some more cable and bits and bobs because the kitchen plan has changed, and then I'm gonna get some cables up and over toward the kitchen, hopefully. But I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it's not the next day. Things have kind of gone a little bit awry on this job, I'm not gonna lie to you. So when I last left you, well, first of all, there was a kitchen in here, and I was just doing an upgrade, but things have changed quite a bit since then. The whole game plan has changed. My cables have been hit and cut, and it's just all gone a bit Pete Tong, in all honesty. So yeah, let me take you through what is going on. So if I flip you around, as you can see, the kitchen is all gone, but they hit a cable that come into here, so low level. So the ring was incomplete. So the ring came into here, fed in here, went back, and then went upstairs over to the other side. But it's all been damaged. They pulled all the tiles off and pulled all the boxing off. So see all of this? It weren't really chopped in the wall. They put plaster and brought it out like an inch thick and put tiles on top of it. And then when they've taken that all out, all of the boxes, everything's just fell out. It's all gone a bit awry. So I've popped them back in the wall, and they're sort of deep enough now. That's a boiler spur. The boiler was going to be over there, but that's changed as well. It's all gone, yeah, the kitchen's just thrown it all out. So it's caused a lot of extra work for me. So yeah, that's the original leg coming in. I mean, it's not the best there, but that's 150, so it's in a cable zone, so it's not the end of the world, but yeah, that's going in there. Then our ring's coming down in that bit of trunking down there, which is going down to a socket, low level here, which does the washing machine, and then that's going to all be a sink. So all of this workspace pretty much useless. This is all going to be boxed off because there was a socket there, but that's now moved, so there's just going to be a socket and a spur here. And then on this side, same thing happened. They took off all the tiling, and this was quite thick, the tile and plaster. You can see this is only a 4-inch wall. So trying to get the bits in the wall. That's probably why they bought it out. So I've got them kind of sunk in there and there. That's our cooker and oven cables coming down. They're going in there in a cupboard, and then our outlets are there. But as you can see here, the thin walls, I did blow through there. I tried my best, but it just didn't happen. So my plan to kind of show an upgrade has kind of not going to happen now, because this is now going to be over a few days. And you may have seen some of this in a monthly vlog already, depending on when this video comes out. But yeah, it just, I think what a lesson learned here is basically working with other trades is always a nightmare. Unless you've got someone managing it, but it is what it is. I've managed the client's been cool about it. It's just going to be a little VO on it and a little bit extra. It's like another day's work that's come out of it. Basically, I allowed a day for first fix, a day for second fix. But now it's been 2 days on first fix, repairing this ring and other bits. And yeah, it's just not what you need, not what you need. So I've had to come in under the stairs and try and get back into my board and try and, so now I need to leave this circuit disconnected. I'm just bringing got the other cooker circuit down and into the board. So that's going in on the buzz bar there. Just taking the blank out, and then I can hopefully get all this board sealed up and lock those circuits off, or just leave them in the Wago like you saw in there. But the whole house is being renovated. So had I known this, it might have been a bit different. Maybe I wouldn't have, it would have made more sense for me to come in afterwards and change the accessories, because they might get paint on them and different bits and bobs. But there's all new flooring. Yeah, it's going to look nice. It's, the customer's putting a lot of money and stuff into it, so it should be nice for the tenants. But it's not been that great for me. Anyway, I'm going to carry on getting these little bits and bobs done, and then hopefully I will see you at a future date when this kitchen doesn't look like this anymore and we can see the finished product. So I'm gonna guess that I'm not gonna remember to do this, but let's see if we can reveal it. Right, I remembered to do it. The job has not gone well. There's not really much to show you, in all honesty. There's some bits second fix. There is a bit of tiling and grouting. I was hoping to show you a whole finished kitchen, but you can see it's still a complete sort of building site. So yeah, it is definitely a lesson learned to just not work with builders, really. But everything's second fix. I've got my two, hang on, let me flip you around. I don't want to keep seeing my ugly mug. Got the two cooker switches in there, which go down. We've got our hob and oven connected. Our bits are second fix. The ring is complete now. I've left these off because they've got to put this bit of plasterboard on, and that's got to go up, and then it's got to be tiled. So I've left some extra long screws. I've left this disconnected. I've had to wire up this boiler, but it's not commissioned, so I can't sort of do anything with it. But basically there's 5 terminals in there. You've got your live neutral earth, and then you've got 2 for your thermostat, and then the thermostat is going to be a wireless one, which is controlled from here. I didn't provide this, by the way. I don't know what make or whatever it is, or if it's any good, but then that will make or break, which tells this to call for heat. There's a new wireless thermostat here, which speaks to that, but like I said, can't commission it. And yeah, it's pretty much it. I feel like this is the most anticlimactic ending to a video, because I was really hoping to show off stuff, but it's just been absolutely, I mean, yeah, look how much of a building site it still is. It's so much further into the future. And yeah, builders. A client has been spot on, and yeah, he's been understanding that I can't get on, so I've left it 2 more weeks, and then I've come back expecting it to all be done, and it's just like it is now. But I've managed to do all of my bits now, so I'm all second fixed, I'm all done, so I can close off the invoices, and it's just going to be like an extra hour's labour for wiring up that boiler. But that is an anticlimactic end to this video. If you want Faultless electrical services, drop us a line. And hopefully you ain't got a builder holding up things. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Right, we're even further into the future, and it looks like builders are done-ish. I mean, it's more or less done. There's, well, it has a kitchen, and it doesn't look like a building site anymore. So, as I'm back here for reasons, basically, when they move the stuff to the boiler, let me flip you around. And you can't see jack, so let's turn the light on. See, I got this camera to be all fancy pants, but honestly, if anyone's planning on doing YouTube, just use your camera. But they cut through this gas main. I'm in your phone, by the way. This gas main, and now that's introducing the potential into the property. So I've carried out a test to it, and it used to come up, and I bonded it before the T. I'm sure I showed it on this video. But then they were like, yeah, nah, I'm just going to cut all that out and sod it off. And now that's no good. So I'm going to have to put a bigger earth bar in and then run a tag onto that. But, oh, that's probably the end of the video. That was a lesson learned. I'm never working with builders. Anyway, catch you in the next one.